Hello Team 3, Mrs Nicholson here with today's RSHE lesson. Remember this term we are learning all about dreams and goals. Today we are focusing upon our own dreams and goals. I'd like to start by telling you a story, a true story about a little girl with big dreams and goals. It's called Me, Jane. Here's what the blurb says. Here is the story of a little girl named Jane, who dreamed of a life helping animals and grew up to help change the world. Jane had a stuffed toy chimpanzee named Jubilee. She cherished Jubilee and took him everywhere she went, and Jane loved to be outside. She watched birds making their nests, spiders spinning their webs, and squirrels chasing one another up and down trees. Jane learned all that she could about the animals and plants she studied in her backyard and read about in books. One day, curious Jane wondered where eggs came from, so she and Jubilee snuck into Grandma Nut's chicken coop, hid behind some straw, stayed very still, and observed the miracle. It was a magical world full of joy and wonder, and Jane felt very much part of it. Jane often climbed her favourite tree, which she named Beech. She would lay her cheek against its trunk and seemed to feel the sap flowing beneath the bark. Jane could feel her own heart beating, beating, beating. With the wind in her hair, she read and reread the books about Tarzan of the Apes, in which another girl, also named Jane, lived in the jungles of Africa. Jane dreamt of a life in Africa too, a life living with and helping all animals. At night, Jane would tuck Jubilee into bed, say her prayers and fall asleep, to awake one day to her dream come true. This is a true story about a little girl called Jane Goodall, and here is a photo of Jane as a little girl. And can you see Jubilee, her teddy chimpanzee? This is the truth behind that story. When Jane was little, her dad actually did give her a toy chimp that she named Jubilee. She loved to explore outdoors and nature. She had a dream about working with African animals, especially chimps, like her toy. But almost everyone told her her dream was impossible, that she wouldn't be able to do it. Her family had very little money, you see, and she was a girl. She lived in a time when girls were not encouraged to have adventurous jobs or careers, but she was lucky and her mum encouraged her. Finally, at the age of 23, she moved to Kenya, which is in Africa, and she worked with a scientist there called Lewis Leakey, and together they studied chimps. Lewis helped Jane to go to university and become a famous scientist herself, just like him. Jane worked hard and she studied the chimps. And her work now, today, allows us to know more about these animals. Jane worked very hard to achieve her dream. In her case, dreams do really come true, especially with hard work. So your task today is to create a flower of your hopes, dreams and goals. What would you like to achieve when you are a grown-up, or perhaps before you become a grown-up? I've chosen a flower for you to do your work today because plants grow from tiny seeds, so we can imagine that our dreams and goals are seeds that we can plant now and watch them grow in the future. You can draw your own flower on a plain piece of paper, or if you wish to, print the template, which is in the Teams link. Here's a waggle, what a good one looks like. So put a picture of yourself in the middle and put each of your dreams or goals or wishes that you would like to be able to achieve in your lifetime in each petal. Remember, Jane had to persevere to achieve her dream. What does persevere mean? That's right, it means don't give up, keep going. And that's why in school we talk to you about the learning powers of perseverance and resilience. Remember, we really want to see your flower template of your dreams and goals and wishes. So remember to send your work to your teachers via the chat function in Teams. Well done, Year 3. Good RSHE learning. Take care. Goodbye for now.